Hello, YouTube subscribers. Today or tonight, whenever you watch this, I am doing a Marvel MCU movie review. Now, I know I haven't done any Marvel MCU movie reviews, uh, at least on Iron Man and the rest of them. I have done, like, the Fox Marvel movies and stuff like that. But this one I kind of wanted to jump to do a review on. Especially, not just because I just saw it, but especially, if you guys could tell by the title, I saw Thunderbolts, uh, or that's what we think we're supposed to think it's called, Thunderbolts. Now, uh, I saw the trailer, the first trailer, and I thought, well, I'm gonna be bluntly honest with everyone. I haven't been that hyped up for anything MCU related. Uh, when I see the first trailer, cool, I get a little hyped up, but not much anymore because lately Marvel has been failing with some of their projects, I liked what they did in the beginning with WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, most of their Disney Plus shows, Shang-Chi, She-Hulk could have been a little bit better, I will be honest, like Deadpool better. Um, Eternals, I liked how they tried to do in a movie, but that needed to be a Disney Plus show. Seriously, I truly believe if Eternals was a fleshed out show on Disney Plus, it would have done way better than it actually did in a movie form. But other than that, so far what we have gotten, like Captain America Brave New World, that I felt like was just trying to be a extended long episode, extra extended long episode than that should have just already been in, along with the episodes we already had with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, don't get me wrong, I did like how Brave New World was. I just felt like the TV show, the Disney Plus Falcon, the Winter Soldier was just better than the movie. Only because it tried to please so many fans with so many questions. Okay, where's the leader? Here you go. What are they doing with the big robot after the Eternals? Here you go. Oh, wait. Crap, this is supposed to be a Captain America movie. There we go. Just squeeze him in and act like it's his whole entire movie. Which, okay, it kind of was to a point. But it did felt like more trying to be a Hulk movie along with a Eternals movie all at once. But other than that, I just felt like that didn't really need, the Captain America movie did not really needed to be made. Not trying to be mean, because we already had Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it already proved the point to Sam that the movie tried, and apparently had to, remind Sam why he's Captain America and why he didn't choose to take the super soldier serum. Which I just felt like Captain America Brave New World just made Sam a bit of a more of an asshole than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. because that actually kept Sam as Sam of how he needed to be. Captain America Brave New World just made him an ass. And this movie even proved it more. And I will explain why. But before I actually get into Thunderbolts, I will say spoilers. If anyone that has not seen Thunderbolts, turn away now. Because there will be spoilers. Don't worry, I'll wait. Okay, good, you're still here. Or whoever have left. And whoever is still here. I'm glad it's still here. Now, before I went to go see the movie, I kind of ran around today, did my own thing before the movie, and I found this shirt, the Punisher shirt, and I bought it when I was at Walmart and wore it to the theater, because I remembered in the Thunderbolt comics when I was learning about the Thunderbolts that Punisher later on in the comics of Thunderbolts became a Thunderbolt. So I thought it would be cool to wear a Punisher shirt. Now the jacket I'm wearing because I'm home, and I thought it'd be cool along with the shirt. But anyway, Thunderbolts. You basically got Elena, Black Widow's sister, / the adopted daughter to the Red Guardian. You got the Red Guardian, which is the father of Elena and the adopted father of Elena and Black Widow. Then you got Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Red Guardian and Elena is from Black Widow. But also Elena did Hawkeye before they brought her into Thunderbolts. And then, like I said, Ghost, which did Ant-Man the Wasp, was in Ant-Man the Wasp, but now she's in the Thunderbolts. And what I would like to know is how in the hell, when did Valentine, or whatever her freaking name is, the freaking bitch that hired all of them to kill each other, which that's not a spoiler or anything. I mean, that was laid out in the trailer already. Even if it didn't try to show that, it come from that. But when the hell did she hire Ghost to work for her? That's what I would like to know. And then you got U.S. agent John Walker from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, along with Taskmaster, and Bucky, which Taskmaster is from Black Widow. Bucky, as everybody know, has always been with us since Phase 1 of the Infinity Saga. Now, Taskmaster, spoil alert, is the first one that dies. I get it. Not everybody, including myself, was happy how Taskmaster was treated. It wasn't comic book accurate, which I can understand that. But whoever's not, loved the character. I kind of did. I kind of appreciate for what we got. But since she is now dead, and hopefully since we're in the multiverse saga, and since at the end, it's basically going to be a clean slate, a redo, reboot, new Marvel, new universe at the very end of the multiverse saga, we might actually get now the actual real Taskmaster, since technically they killed off the Taskmaster we kind of was following, but they did kill her off earlier on. So that basically led us to follow and kind of kept more bonding with is U.S. Agent, Elena, Ghost, Bucky. Even though we were already connected with Bucky, and that's why they kind of didn't really show him much, but they kind of showed him a little bit until the very end. They showed him more and more and more. Um, and Red Guardian. Now, I did like some of the jokes. I did like how at first how they all hated each other and how they had a fuck you attitude. Um, and I like how they slowly bond with each other through letting each other know, yeah, we all don't give a shit about each other. Yeah, that basically either of them basically told each other, you could just lay down, we could walk away so easily and allow you to die on the road. I like that. Yes, Suicide Squad, Zack Snyder's Suicide Squad had that, but it threw so much into that movie where it screams, okay, you already supposed to know these characters, but we're still going to give you a reason to bond with them. We're actually going to introduce these characters like you don't know, but you're already supposed to know. With these characters, it didn't. With Thunderbolts, it didn't have to do that because we already knew these characters. We already bond with most of these characters as we already had a strong bond, except with Taskmaster. I truly feel like that's why Taskmaster was killed off so early in the film. Now, and left with U.S. Agent, Ghost, and Elena, and Red Guardian because in the beginning we had a attachment and we kept that attachment all the way to Thunderbolts. Um, so, and I love Sentry. Sentry, oh my freaking goodness. I appreciate how they got the comic book writer that created Sentry in the comics on set to help them to do Sentry perfect on screen, to not screw up anything. And I truly have to believe what I've learned from the comics of Sentry and into this film. I truly believe, mwah, perfect. They did him perfect, and I had fear. I was trembling. I was like, shit. People thought Homelander was bad. People thought the Zack Snyder's Superman was evil. People thought the Injustice Superman was evil. Hell no. The Void, the negative version of Sentry, even when Sentry was not being the Void, the negative version of himself, he was freaking he was freaking machine. He was just in there and gone. He was like with no freaking problem. Homelander, yeah, you could get a scratch on him one few times, and then he uh he would still throw you around like a rag doll. But Sentry, hell no, you couldn't get a scratch on this guy if you really wanted to. And he would still, and without a freaking touch, he would throw you around like a freaking rag doll. That I really appreciated of seeing that character from the comics, from the pages, on screen. I'm like, shit, this is the superhero that the boys need to stop Homelander. That's what I was truly thinking through once it got to those scenes. Um, I liked it how they argued. Kind of like how the first Avengers movie they argued and then broke up. I kind of like that same feeling in the Thunderbolts. I liked how we got that. I like how they recapped it, but made it in their own way of relating of how knowing how broken they are, each of them, and knowing how they don't really get along with each other. But the difference and the reason why it felt new to me compared to the first Avengers is because in the first Avengers you had Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Nick Fury. All of them were main A-list heroes that everybody knew about, well, kind of, and appreciated and freaking like a band. They were the main band. With Thunderbolts, they were nobodies. They were outcasts. They were garbage. So really, you take that, you take what made the first Avengers kind of so precious, and you twist it to the Thunderbolts, and you made it precious again. And you show how you can take nobody's garbage and make them a band. And especially speaking of bands, I like how in the credits, when they were doing the credits, and showing is the background of newspapers of showing how they're a new team, not saying the name of the new team. Spoiler, if you care about spoilers, but if you're a person that doesn't care about spoilers, the new Avengers. But anyway, on the background was showing newspapers saying that they're that. One of the references was Elena's head on on the switching the original girl's head with Elena's of the poster of the girl that does like this. And then another reference is from Queen, and it was the picture of Queen's famous song that was the same name of the movie, where Red Guardian was like this, and then you had U.S. Agent up above him, Elena, and then Ghost on the other side. But I truly like the action. I truly like the story. It reminded me what made the first Avengers movie so appreciative. And to me, I feel this. What I did not like about this film, cool, yeah, they had to reference Captain America Brave New World because they were trying so hard to remind people it is a shared universe. It is all connected. But when they know how bad Captain America Brave New World was, that's the movie they chose to still be in and added references from, when they could have ignored it. They could ignore it, slide it away like they used to, pretend it never existed, except a few things. Sure, still reference that the president turned to a Red Hulk. Cool. I mean, it's not like the first time Marvel hinted a few things, like in the first Avengers movie that happened in one movie, but they still wanted to pretend that it never existed. Um, uh, 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 so that's one of my negatives, is that how they still made Captain America Brave New World exist, and instead of pretending that it didn't and sliding it away in the vault that where it will never be reminded again. But I do like the action. Like I said, I do like the story plot. Like I said, I truly believe the bonding that we have with these characters, the more bonding that we have with these characters was so much better. It was so good of what we actually needed. And to me, I truly believed This movie set up what it truly needed to do, where Captain America Brave New World tried to do, but instead of that movie, it should have been the Thunderbolts of basically doing it for it, because basically, yeah, through this movie, it's a big question. There are no more Avengers. Sure, they're the Avengers pals that joined the team for the last two battles, but technically, they're not really full Avengers. That's not how people see them as. They're more like sidekicks, even though Falcon took up the mantle of Captain America. But we need Avengers. The world is Avengers-less. So who will come and save us? And I truly believe that's how the Thunderbolts ended. That's what should have been out already, instead of Captain America Brave New World. Because it's the new Avengers. Again, the new Avengers. It's basically the band we need, because we're now in a world after the snap that basically nobody really pays attention, but it's just, if you guys get my point, please leave your comment down below saying that you understand, because I'm having a hard time understanding it. But also in this movie, there was some emotional parts for me. I did get too attached to some characters, more lead to Sentry, when they were showing some parts of Sentry that hit too close to home. Um, uh, so, that really hit, but, there's two post-credit scenes. One is more for a comedy ad, which is for the Red Guardian, because he jokes, we could be, we could be the mascots on a win, I forgot the name of the cereal. He says, uh, we could be the poster or mascots for a Wheaties box with the little kitty toy, which they kept that in the movie. There's not a lot of things they kept from the trailer, like when Red Guardian screams, "We're the Thunderbolts," and Bucky turns around and said, "We can't call ourselves that," and U.S. Agent said, "God, thank you." Sadly, they didn't keep that in the movie, but hey, that's fine. Um, but there was that clip where uh Red Guardian sees that cereal. They're on the cereal, and he tries to have, and he puts the cereal box against his face, and where he's trying to flirt with the girl that's trying to shop in a grocery store, and he's like, I'm on the box. And she doesn't even recognize him. Which throughout this whole movie, out of everybody, nobody remembers the Red Guardian. Like he never existed type thing, like Marvel does with most of their movies. Which is, it's funny but sad at the same time. And then the last post-credit scene, it's where they mostly read articles of people now believing they're the new Avengers that people now have to rely on. And that basically Bucky, and that another problem that they have is that they're trying to fight Sam to be called, aka the new Captain America. That's trying to fight with him, allowing them to be called the new Avengers. But Sam told Bucky that they can't, because he's looking for the actual new Avengers. I'm like, What the hell? They were buddies at the end. I mean, sure, they kind of butt heads like any normal buddy would, because that's as they showed in Captain America: Civil War, and they kind of leaned on that in the beginning of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then but at the end of that show, they showed that they were tight, complete, full buddies, no issues or anything. But here's this, where he tells Bucky that the the group that in the beginning of the movie called themselves Thunderbolts cannot be the new Avengers, and that he's the one that has to look for the new Avengers. I'm like, where the hell is this coming from? I'm like, this is why Captain America did not show. This is not the reason why Captain America chose Sam to be Captain America. He chose Sam because he saw goodness, and that Sam would never lose into his ego. That was the problem with John Walker. So basically, they're trying to now make Sam sound like John Walker. But and then at the end of that post credit scene, after they were done paused on the issue of the title, which thanks to that, Red Guardian walked in with a race car outfit, which kind of reminded me of the scene in the Fantastic Four: The Rise of the Silver Surfer, where Johnny walked in with a new Fantastic Four outfit that tried to look like a racing car outfit. But that's what Red Guardian actually does. He actually comes in with a actual perfect homemade race car outfit, colorful race car outfit. That says Avengees with a Z instead of an S, and he's like, "See, we're not copy writing, so they can't really say because we got a Z at the end." I'm like, oh, I'm like, I'm like, okay, but after that they heard that there's an anomaly out in outer space, and which this is the part I kind of found hypocritical to most people, because they said this is the most important post-credit scene to watch, which it is. It truly is important to the upcoming story, because Thunderbolts, even though granted Fantastic Four is coming out a few months after this, but technically, timeline-wise, in the MCU, Thunderbolts stops here. Like, Fantastic Four happens since it's on its own Earth, but Thunderbolts ends, and then right after Thunderbolts is the Avengers Doomsday movie, then Avengers Secret Wars. Well, the second post-credit scene shows glimpse, a spoiler of what happens after the Fantastic Four movie. So I will say now, if you really don't care about spoilers of what you already knew or had a theory of how Fantastic Four would end, then cool, watch it. Who cares? Like me, I basically already knew. But if there's people out there that don't follow the Marvel news and don't look forward to spoilers, then you basically spoiled yourself by watching this second post-credit scene, because it shows you the ending result at the end of Fantastic Four. So, it titters back and forth. It's up to you, really, by having the movie spoiled for you, or decide to say, you know what, this is the first Marvel post-credit scene I'm gonna skip. Even though, yeah, the beginning of it may not seem that harmful, but the end is. So, anyway. And then I did like how it said, like every Marvel movie does after every post-credit scene, the next Avengers Or did it say No. Yeah, I did say the next Avengers. And Bob will return. I'm like, yeah. But before it said and Bob, it paused. Then it said and Bob will return. I'm like, yeah, I love that part. But this movie I really enjoyed. I really appreciated. To me, I give it five stars out of 5 stars. 5 out of 5. Um. Um. So, basically, the only negative that I have towards this movie was the references to Captain America Brave New World, but hey, who cares? It's in there. It's nothing I can really do about it except hate it. Um, like any Marvel fan hates something about a Marvel movie. So but that and how the post credit scene, how Marvel allowed one of their post credit scenes spoiled the ending of one of their movies before it even comes out, even though they know that their fans basically know themselves and kind of spoil it themselves that, hey, yeah, this is how it's gonna happen. This is our theory. You're proving the fans right, Marvel, before they actually ever do. But anyway, drop your comment down below. What did you think of the film? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Did you watch the post-credit scene? And what's your opinion on it? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? What's your favorite Marvel film? What's your favorite Marvel comic? Who's your favorite Marvel hero, anti-hero, villain? Anti-villain, I guess. Please hit that like button if you liked this video. Please hit that dislike button if you didn't like this video. Please do not feel like you have to please me. I do not get hurt at any decisions you guys may not like or do like. And if you guys didn't like this video of how I did this video, please comment down below what you didn't like me doing so I can change for the next video. Also, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. And if you're watching us, peace.